The breeze carried his voice across the shaded veranda, each syllable carved with the care of a sculptor chiseling marble, measured, intentional, wounding in its simplicity. "Still alone at 42, he said, his chuckle slicing the warm air with surgical finesse. He nodded toward his wife, standing across the manicured lawn, beneath a spill of golden sunlight. Her laughter sparkled, brittle and bright, more brilliant than the diamonds that clung to her throat. Her gown, a cascade of silvered silk, shimmered with every movement, catching the light just so, an effortless display of elegance meant to be noticed. I held my composure. My face betrayed nothing, a mask honed over years. With a subtle nod, I summoned a smile, just enough to register. "Let me introduce my wife," I said, my voice steady, polished to smooth stone. I turned slightly, a single gesture calling her to my side. His smirk wavered. The color in his face drained, his confidence buckling like wet canvas. His wife's gaze snapped to mine, her fingers tightening around the stem of her wine glass. A small tremor betrayed the mask she wore. Beside me, my wife smiled cool, composed, and luminous, a quiet triumph written in the gentle curve of her mouth. 10 years ago, I had belonged to him, back when he was still scrambling toward greatness, not yet crowned by fortune, just ambition in a suit, promises on his lips, and a gleam in his eye that caught the weak light like chrome. We were fire and shadow, stolen hours, secrets whispered in dim rooms, weekend flights booked under aliases, even a pair of monogram cufflinks tucked in my drawer, never worn. Then she arrived, my closest friend, my confidant, the woman who knew every hidden fracture in my heart. I introduced them at a summer gala. She swept in like a storm gathering just beyond the horizon. The way he watched her, the way her eyes flicked to mine before their fingers intertwined. It all unfolded like a tragedy I had authored with my own hand. 3 weeks later, she confessed. Her voice held no shame, only certainty. "It wasn't planned," she said, "but love chooses its own path." They left for Paris. His call came from the airport. He called it fate. Inevitable, he said. Fate tastes like ash, like a wound that scabs but never truly heals. I did not scream. I did not sob. I disappeared methodically, purposefully, into my own silence. Until tonight. Their rise had been meteoric. A tech empire built on guile and gleaming smiles. IPOs, boardroom deals, polished speeches, and symphonies of applause. Their lives were choreography, every movement rehearsed, every misstep hidden beneath layers of glitter. But ambition cast long shadows. I learned to move quietly through them. 2 years ago, I launched my own firm. Not illegal, no, but not wholly virtuous. We trafficked in truths people didn't want spoken aloud. Discretion was our currency. Schedules, contacts, private transactions, every thread, if pulled, could unravel someone's carefully stitched life. I didn't seek their names. They found me. His company's ledger was a fiction, its numbers redrawn like a magician's card trick. Shell companies, offshore accounts, a program siphoning competitive data in whispers of code, and her, a rented apartment under a different name, a hidden place she visited every Thursday. No sound, only images, a man, younger, smiling with the same sly charm her husband once wore. I didn't watch out of malice. I documented, studied, cataloged, with the same cold discipline they once taught me. 3 nights before the gala, I dined with a woman I had only recently met. She liked her bourbon neat and her conversation sharp. "Betrayal doesn't destroy you," she said, eyes glinting over the rim of her glass. "It sharpens you." Something in her words struck the flint within me. I shared my story, in quiet tones, over flickering candlelight and the weight of unspoken war. She listened like a scholar. Her mother had been a tactician. Her father, a judge. She loved puzzles and knew how to win. By the time coffee arrived, the plan didn't need to be spoken aloud. I showed her the photos, the records, the timestamps. Her eyes gleamed with understanding. Not pity, purpose. So tonight we arrived together. Her hand rested lightly in mine. Calm, calculated, lethal, He saw her and blinked. He saw me and flinched. He saw the life I could have had, and worse, the life he might yet lose. His wife saw her own reflection, warped and exposed in the living mirror I'd become. I approached under the canopy. The string quartet played something refined. In my hand, a glass of untouched champagne. Leaning close, I whispered, "Does she still talk in her sleep?" His eyes met mine, locked, searching. I didn't blink. "Still call out names that aren't yours?" He shook his head, but the sweat above his brow gave him away. A confession written in salt. I handed him an envelope. Plain, unsealed, ordinary in appearance, catastrophic in content. Inside, photos, receipts, locations, hotel keys, and shadowed embraces. He didn't open it. He didn't need to. "I could end you," I said, my voice soft like a lullaby. "But I won't." Relief flickered across his face like the first breeze after a storm. Then I extinguished it. "I want you to wake up every morning knowing I know, and choosing to stay. That's the real punishment." His facade cracked. He tried to smile, but the shape wouldn't hold. His world, once engineered to perfection, had begun to rot from the inside. My wife joined me. Her hand brushed my arm. She smiled at him, then at his wife, held her gaze for a breath too long, just long enough to sting. Then we turned and walked away. In the car, silence surrounded us, not empty, but warm. I didn't feel love. I felt something rarer, sharper, like the cool satisfaction of a blade finding its mark. She glanced at me. Did it mend anything? I pictured his face, her grip on the wine glass, the fracture that echoed through their perfect lives. I nodded. Yes. She smiled, eyes forward. We said nothing more. Some victories don't shout. They whisper. Precise. Final. Like a lock clicking shut. Never to be opened again.